can't feel my hands. It's goddamn freezing.
Okay. I should have noticed that it wasn't on. Okay. The mic was on, but OBS sometimes switches to a different source. It imagines that there's a different source. Yeah. Anyways, I was just saying that I spent yesterday at a symposium on, what's the full title here? Asian Computations, Consciousness, Liveliness, Emergent Subjectivities. And it was basically about speculative fiction and artificial intelligence. And so I was one of the panel speakers and, panel discussion. And I spoke about, well, not surprisingly, I spoke about a little bit about the history of AI and representation, and then also connected it to some present questions, and also looked at certain figures or tropes out of 19th century literature, like the automaton chess player, the Turk, and Frankenstein's creature, as ways not only as subject but also as ways of thinking about how we could respond to the persistent racist stereotypes around Asian American and Asian Canadian people and bodies in sort of popular culture. So, anyways, it was. I ended up going a lot more like deep on the critical side. I could have. There were a whole range of different responses. Some people did more of a, this is how I've been exploring and dealing with these questions, and here's, and I'll read a little bit from my work. And then other people went like me and went more critical, and then some people went in between. It was a good mix. I think the variety was actually helpful. And I was the opening speaker. Like, I was the first person on my panel to speak, and we were the first panel. And then the closing speaker on the second panel, and we did not coordinate at all, ended up touching on, in a very different way, a lot of the same themes and examples that I was using. So it was really wonderful to kind of see like how the whole event kind of ended up coming back on itself. And it was big loop, and it was actually kind of nice. So. No, there were some very excellent guests in the room there, people on the panels. For my panel, I was probably the senior person on the panel. But for the fiction panel, there were some heavyweights. There were people with who've been writing for decades, who, I guess I've been writing for decades too, but been writing for decades, have published like tons of books, and are very highly regarded, both within sort of the specific domain of Asian Canadian literature, but also more broadly in terms of speculative fiction and fantasy and sci-fi, and just like very, very well-respected, interesting writers. So yeah, it was good. And the person who was the host, the person that the organizer for the whole event, is a writer who's a friend of mine, and is like one of the, I mean, she also operates both in the world of creative, in terms of producing poetry and fiction, and a lot of it, but then also is a fantastic critical mind in terms of like the analysis and the discussion around sort of technology and literature and sci-fi. So it was really rich. It was a very good, very, very good discussion. And then we got taken out for dinner at a very nice restaurant, and we ate very well. And so that didn't hurt. But yeah, it's I was pretty stressed out about the whole thing because I woke up at like 5:45 yesterday, like Friday, and my presentation was supposed to start we were supposed to meet at well, not meet. I had to be on campus by 9:45. And from about 6 o'clock to 9:30, I wrote a brand new draft of my entire presentation. I wrote the entire presentation basically in the morning of. I'd taken a lot of notes. I'd made a lot of false starts, but it wasn't until like Friday morning that I actually. Yeah, and then I was in such a rush. I think I got done at about 9:15, and I was like, I have to be on campus at 9:45, and I was like, if I take the train, I'm going to be late, so I ended up having to take an Uber, which I normally wouldn't do because we're so close, but I couldn't. I knew if I went to the train station or the subway, I'd be stuck on every single stop the subway has to make before we get there, so. Oh, we got bunnies in here too. Forgot about that. So anyways, it all worked out. I was very happy with the end piece that I put together. I did borrow a few things from my dissertation, but there were a lot of things I just wrote completely from scratch. I think I borrowed like 2 paragraphs. Yeah. And those 2 paragraphs, I basically had to rewrite half of them anyways, because things changed. I needed to adapt them to the specifics of... What do we have over here?
My fingers feel numb.
We don't have a hacksaw, or do we? We do have a hacksaw, don't we? Yeah, we do have a hacksaw. Okay. It's a little risky, but we could try to make a fire here and harvest the deer. Yeah, I think we should at least get the meat. We might not get a chance to cook it here, but
Oh, that didn't work.
yeah. One day left.
Come on, little fire.
Maybe we'll go ahead and take the risk here. Gather all our feathers.
Damn, I'm freezing.
So I'm looking forward to later this month when I get to take some time off of work. It'll be nice. Really want to get into some of my creative projects. Uh-oh. And there goes our... we knew it was coming, but still bad when it comes. Yeah, that didn't last. Bad idea. I don't think this is the way we came. Oh, it was the way we came. Okay. Okay, this is bad. Where are we? We don't know where we are.
Oh, I'm starving.
How do we do that? I don't know. -9. We're not warm at all. This could likely be the end of us because I don't think I have enough fuel to make it through.
Come on.
This was the biggest risk of the Timberwolf Mountain start. Is without a bedroll, it's hard, and without coffee, it's hard to justify a trip up to the summit. Come on. Are we warm enough yet? Just barely. Okay. To have 1 hour on the fire, we're not going to make it, I don't think. We've already broken down everything in here that we can. If we can make it to the morning, we can escape. Nope. The end is near. Any new sticks? No. We already picked all this clean. Yeah, I don't see any sticks in our usual place.
Starting to feel numb.
Doom! Hey, Roller! Thanks for the gift sub to Street OG! Who indeed is one of the OGs. Thank you for supporting our final moments on this run. Yeah, we could do this other thing. Ah! Oops. That was stupid. We're not going to make it. Oh, we made it. I think that's kind of as far as we can push it, though. We don't have enough fuel. To make a new fire.
Up somehow.
I guess we could do the same thing again, right? It's a little bit of a gamble.
It's so cold. I just want to lay down for a bit.
We're not going to have any matches left either.
Come on, little fire.
It's still hot? Okay, that's weird.
Sure getting cold.
One. Okay, this is the next part's the hard part, right? We know it's going to get colder. Hmm? Okay, now we just have a few hours before we can leave. Let's go looking for sticks. We have everything we need, right? Yep. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we may have actually pulled that off. That is a kind of an emergency tactic that works. It's expensive. It uses up a lot of resources, but when you got nothing else, like in terms of matches, we're going to be really struggling now because we've got once again no matches. We're out of matches now. So we really can't afford to lose our torch. Now we're in the super cold part of the day. Okay, let's see. Still day 3, not day 4 yet.
Jeez, this is cold.
Uh-oh. Forgot, we're out of torches. Oh no.
Come on, little
Oh
guy.
no. This could be fatal.
If I don't warm up soon.
That was uncomfortably close. Let's see here. What do we have? Let's build a stockpile of torches here. Okay. Still not quite day 4.
I could eat anything right now.
that a piece of wood? No. Oh, still not quite there yet. Let's get all the sticks we can. I think we need to exit to Pleasant Valley. I know this is not the most efficient path, but I think we need the clothing at the air crash, and we need we need more matches. We need the hammer. We need a lot of stuff. Bedroll would be really awesome.
Fire.
And again, we'll see what we get when we roll, right? If it's really short, we may not have a choice. We may have to just run.
Oh,
uh-oh. Of course, we might not get a choice here either. Uh-oh. It's really cold. We have to make tea to warm up. And we're not warming up. We're not warming up. This sucks. Okay. It's day 4. We're going to take our torches and run. This is going to be a disaster, though. We can just make it. We're not going to make it. It's like if we can make it down, but any damage we take on the way down, goading will kill us. Climbing the rope might be too long. I don't know. We're out. We fought the good fight. We did as many tricks as we could to stay alive. But I don't think we're going to make it. We're too far away from the climb. Look at us. We're beyond redlining. We're really out of it. We're in sight. We're so close. We also have no matches. So even if we make it there, which we don't. So we were kind of doomed because we didn't have any matches left. We would have to count on a flare in the bunker. In the prepper's cache. Yeah. Oh, 4 days. It was not a great showing, but it was a valiant effort at the end. Okay, so we're now on day 0. Run. Temp 9. Oops, not challenge. We want to do a new one. We want to make an interloper. Stay with Astrid. Yes, Cougar. Yes, Scurvy. Now we'll skip the trader. Said I wasn't going to be on long, so we'll see how long it is. This feels like, is it PV? It is PV. Beginning of the day is not a bad spawn. Try to figure out where we are here. Okay. I don't think there'll be anything useful. No. Oh, we have to roll. We have to roll still. Yes. Let's see. Roll. Oh, we also have to reset our counter here. Six. Okay. 6 days, plenty of days to loot. We'll be fine.
The cold is making my head feel thick.
Yep, glad we took this route. Oh, wolf over there. Oh man, still got a long ways to go. Nothing. Looks like I knew what I was doing there, but I didn't. I figured we must be close to the cave, but I didn't expect to drop down immediately on the cave. Unfortunately, it's too cold. We can't warm up here. That's the moose. Great. Okay, I was not expecting to run into the moose here. That's not what we wanted. Now the wind dies down. Okay, we're close. Okay, hydrate. And big stretch. And Baba. Walk, 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 walk. Okay. Guess we'll come up here. Okay, we're really close. Hopefully we're warm enough in here. Yeah, we are. Okay. Books. Cloth. Another book in the... We'll leave some of them. Let's see here. We're exactly at 0, so we're not going to get any benefit from being here. Kind of sucks.
Wait. I'm so cold. I'm warming up a bit.
Maybe this one will be better. Should be a bed in it, right? Feels like 7. Okay. I was very proud about my presentation for the symposium, as anxious as I was about it. Part I'm proud about is the fact that I drafted it on Friday morning, right before running over to the university to be part of the symposium. So I really had not had a chance to time it. And so I kind of eyeballed kind of guesstimated how long it would take me to get through the presentation, and yeah, it worked out almost exactly on the dot. So. No, we're matchy. Oh, but this way we're going to get water without having to do any work. So yeah, I know I'm going to have to be up early tomorrow, so we're not going to have a super late stream tonight. Probably go another 20 minutes, maybe. Okay. Wow, there's no loot here today. Nothing. Yep. Okay, there we go. Bam. Hmm. You think I should be playing Misery? I don't enjoy Misery. I mean, it's Misery, right? Or are you talking about, let's see here. Yeah, it's no longer applicable, right, as a tag? Yeah. Oh, we'll change that to use Interloper. Yeah. Yeah, I tell people that I play Interloper, and then I describe it as the hardest long-term survival mode. Like, Misery was never intended for anything long-term. It's meant feels much more like a challenge. Now, there are people that stretch it out really long, but I think as a difficulty setting, it really was intended to be a short-term challenge. But true enough, there are people that are playing Misery as a difficulty setting. So.
I could eat anything.
Chips.
Well, this stuff will come in handy. Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Oh, I went for my haircut this morning, but it was kind of an ordeal because I discovered that I had found a couple months ago, I'd found a great hairdresser in Chinatown, and only charged, I think, $15 a haircut. It's like a great price. And the haircut was really good, and I was very excited about it. But I didn't go back last month because that was my birthday month. And although I'm not superstitious, um, it is generally considered bad luck to get your hair cut, around your birthday. Because things getting cut kind of evoke the idea that your life is getting cut short. So, yeah. So I decided to skip April. I was busy as well. So it was like, yeah, I just won't do it. And then I tried to go. I looked up the hair salon again this morning, intending to go back, and it's permanently closed. So I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? So then I searched up for other, barbers and hairdressers in Chinatown. And there's lots, it's not like there's a shortage. And they're all very reasonably priced, most of them. And so I read some reviews, and I settled on one. And I walked and then took the bus the last little while because I got tired. And went to the place, and there was a short line, so I waited for a bit and finally got my hair cut. And it was a good cut. I was very happy. A little bit more expensive, I think like 17 instead of 15. And then I walked back from the salon all the way home. But on the way back, there was this funny moment when I was on the way back. I stop at an intersection, and then I hear someone call my name, and I look over, and there's one of the writers from the symposium yesterday. Is on the street corner. She is visiting from Vancouver. So she's only here for a few days. And she's randomly there with a friend of hers, who was another writer who was attending, but wasn't speaking as part of the symposium. And so, so we ended up like just randomly encountering each other, in the middle of Chinatown. And then I finished the rest of I walked most of the way back, and then I stopped at the T&T, the Asian Grocery Mart, and I picked up a few things, and then finished walking all the way home. It was a good long walk, not super long, but it was good exercise. This month, May, a number of people at the library I work at, the Map and Data Library, are all participating on a team where we're competing with other groups on campus for steps, total steps per team. So we're all like counting steps and reporting them. So I know I'm kind of the dead weight on the team because like the minimum is 10,000 per day, and so most of them are doing 11 to 13,000 a day, and I'm just breaking 10. I have to make an effort to break 10,000. So yesterday I barely made it. Today I made it. I made it to about 11,000. So it was good. Tomorrow I don't know if I'm going to hit it. I'm going to try, but it's going to be trickier because I just don't know scheduling wise where I'll have the time for walking. Okay, so at last we find ourselves in this situation with no matches. Ooh.
I could eat a horse.
Well, I think we'll have to accept that we're not going to get the. We'll have to come back. Okay. Okay, we're probably not going to continue too much longer because I have to be up early. So, yeah. Well, we recovered from our frostbite.
I could eat anything right now.
Ooh. Okay. I think we're. Day 1, almost day 2. Okay, so I think we'll leave the save here and we'll go read something. Let's see what we get here for suggestions. Memory. I feel like we've done that one recently. Oh, speaking of sleepy folks, read that. I'm going to put my copy of the book. Yep, probably in the stack of other books. Oh no, it's not here. Yeah, hold on. I guess we will. I guess it makes more sense to do it this way. Let's see. Back in a sec. Okay, we're back. So yeah, we'll just read something here, wrap up a little bit early, so I can get some sleep before my early morning meeting tomorrow, which is too early. It's actually not too early, it's just I have to get up early so I can get ready for the meeting. Ugh. Shifting, changing responsibilities. Yeah. This is Babbage Closing His Eyes, 1871. At the end of Babbage's Dream. My second book of poetry, published in 2017. This is Charles Babbage, 19th century mathematician, engineer, and computer pioneer. He designed, partially built, but never finished what would have been the first computer. And this is a poem imagining his final moments. What is it that you see rising from the gray, even as the lights dim, your heart and lungs clocking out after the long day of labor? The world slows, weary of the noise of other beings. You've said many things to rooms full of impenetrable minds, tried to lay down a map for those who might follow. What else can you do at the end, when there is no language expansive enough to render what lies beating in the heart of every diagram you've sketched? Between these lines and the grand machine, invisible, intangible as a ghost-made miracle, you've lived out your years, crafted a home in the shadow of a dream, and now it is over. Outside, the organ grinders gather around the walls, their angry little boxes of gears stubbornly playing on, relentless in your final hour. Though you fought them for years, drove them from the street lamps into the deeper night, they will not leave. They will not let go. So, I've told the story a few times, but Babbage had a beef with organ grinders, who were these they were panhandlers who had these like hand cranked music playing devices. So there was no actual skill involved. It was just cranking turning the crank on a gearbox that made musical, very tinny, annoying musical noise. Really, it's like Babbage didn't consider it music. He didn't consider it art. He considered it distraction and annoyance, and worse yet, the standard practice for organ grinders would be that they would surround you on the street and make annoying music until you paid them to go away. And so Babbage was so frustrated with this type of extortion and this type of like bullying that he petitioned and he championed a new law that would require organ grinders to remain, I can't remember the exact distance, but a certain amount of distance away from residences, and basically banish them from entire neighborhoods. And they were not happy. So, some of the accounts I've read have suggested that when Babbage was on his deathbed, word got out to the organ grinders. And they came, and they stood outside his window, and he was in the heart of, like, London, so it was easy to find his neighborhood and find access to his house. And they stood there, and they ground their organ, just turned their organs, and all these organ grinders just kind of relentless in the noise and cacophony that they could produce as payback, even in his dying hour. Now, there is this irony, right? Like, Babbage dedicates his life to trying to build this machine capable of, well, basically a Turing complete computer, something that was able to checked all the boxes for what would make it a computer that could run programs, use memory, and have fill another set of checklists. He didn't know anything about Turing. Turing was way after his time, but he wanted to build something that was a general purpose programmable machine, run all sorts of different types of programs, and so that was that. But so he dedicated his life to a machine, and in the end, he's surrounded by the polar opposite. Instead of a tool that he sees as being, the harbinger of like new and exciting technology and applications and transformation of the world, the computer revolution. That's what he envisioned. Instead, he ends his life listening to the sound of cheap imitation music produced on gearboxes whose operators have no creativity or originality or intention other than to keep grinding away. Now, when you think about this could have gone into my presentation yesterday, now that I think about it, because in a way, the organ grinders are the general public's and sometimes corporate application of generative artificial intelligence. Is they want the organ grinders. That's what they're moving towards. Is like, yes, all you have to do is turn the crank and magically music comes out. But what kind of music? Does it have any feeling? Does it know? Does the operator have anything invested in making artful, beautiful music? Or are they more interested in the rapid exploitation and reproduction of someone else's tune? Yeah, does it have any spirit, right? So no. So that's I think it's really interesting. A lot of these anxieties and frustrations in the 19th century are really still the ones that we're facing today. It didn't change that much. So that's from Babbage's Dream, Babbage Closing His Eyes, 1871. Okay, so let's go find someone to raid. Let's see here. I think Wands is up again. I'm going to go visit Wands. We'll do that. It's nice to... We'll see who else we could support, but Wands is a candidate. AV is also a candidate. Do I think Cyrus is up there? Okay. Okay, we did Wands before. We'll go visit AV. AV's doing a different challenge right now. AV sounds pretty frail right now. Deadpool was another option, yeah. Okay, so let's get ready for this raid. Thank you all. We'll drop in on AV tonight, and then... Oh, well, then we'll ride with AV to wherever AV goes. Okay. Okay, we'll hop over there. Thank you all. Take care. Good night.